Hello, YouTube. Everybody keeps saying it's been a long time. It's been a long time. But I think I'm really keeping up with you guys. Yes, I do. It's just that YouTube has got so many rules now, comments, blah, 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 blah. The motivation is slowly leaving the soul because you never know if what you're going to say is right or wrong. But I will never leave YouTube. Don't worry. I will never leave YouTube. So today, the reading of Gary Owens and his wife, Kenya, is requested on Instagram. This one got the most votes. I ask my Instagram followers to make requests, and then people like or dislike, and I pick the one with the most votes. And this one got the most votes, Gary Owens and his wife, Kenya. I don't know this couple at all because we don't have their show in Canada. We don't have their show in Canada. We don't have many black shows in Canada. In fact, we have 0 black shows in Canada. We just got Real Housewives of Atlanta just a few years ago, but then I was doing it through a friend. We usually get our black shows and black stuff through a friend. Okay, so anyway, I don't know this couple, but I guess they are very popular and they are very famous in the United States. So they were voted for this YouTube reading, and every week I will put up a post on my Instagram for YouTube readings, and I will pick up the most popular request. So if you haven't joined my Instagram and you want to make requests, please don't bother to put them in the comments because I do not take them from comments. I take them from Instagram because it's just easier. When you are psychic like me and you live with so many energies besides your own, it is very difficult to put 2 and 2 together. So I just like to have everything streamlined, like in one row. So be compassionate and be kind to those of us who are special. And if you have a request, please go and put it on Instagram requests. When I ask for requests, I don't always ask for requests. Instagram for me is religion. I share my religion on Instagram, and then I share element readings and the elements and how we are metaphysically made up as human beings. That is also on Instagram. And then of course I do celebrity readings. So that's a lot to cover on one platform. It's a lot to cover on one platform. But now I'm gonna make it a habit to put requests for YouTube. Like what would you like to watch on YouTube? I'll make it a habit. For my Patreon page, I take straight from my patrons. I make that comment in Patreon, and I take the requests straight from my patrons. Okay. Having said that, of course, YouTube is PG, parental guidance advised, and Patreon is not PG. Okay, so now let us look at Gary Owens and Kenya. And I always have to open the board of the Bantu with an ode to the Bantu, to the Bantu, to the Bantu. So I'm going to begin a series of our heroes. Yes, I am. I am going to begin a series of our heroes. So, fellow Bantus, write some names down of your heroes and what they did and what they have done. The heroes that you learned in history, the heroes that your people are still talking about, so that I can continue this series of discussing for a minute or two the heroes of the Bantu, because there are some people who don't think we are warriors. There are some people who think we are weak as fuck and we can be taken down by any other race, any other nation, any day and any time. And I say, hell no, hell no, hell no. The biggest landowners in the whole of Africa had to fight for that land to begin with. We were just not walking there, and it just wasn't free. It wasn't free. We had to fight other tribes for their land. Yes, we are conquerors. The Bantu are conquerors, and the conquerors may be conquered, but they will reconquer. Over and over and over again. Shaka Zulu, son of the Zulu, Bantu. And he is the greatest warrior that ever lived. He won battles against the British. And if he hadn't been assassinated by his nasty-ass half-brother and his cronies, they may never have got South Africa. Shaka was born from a relationship that was not meant to be. His birth was predicted years before he was born, years before his mother Nandi was born. His birth was predicted by a Zulu witch doctor. The Zulu at the time were a very small tribe, very, very small tribe. And then a Zulu witch doctor said, one day we're gonna be mighty. We're gonna be great. We're gonna be warriors. We're gonna be the shit that walks and talks. And it's all because of this boy that shall be born. And then he described Shaka and how Shaka was going to be made. Shaka was going to be made by a prince. Turned out it was Prince Senza Ngakona. By a prince, it turned out it was Prince Senza Ngakona. By a prince and a girl from a rival tribe. A tribe that the Zulu hated, a very aggressive tribe, a warrior tribe that were always fighting with everybody and everything. And at the time, the Zulu were a peaceful people. They didn't have time for wars. They had time for love, sex, and poetry, right? And this tribe was full of warriors and people just wanting to kill everybody, wanting to fight for land, fight for resources. So he predicted that a son shall be born. A son of the Zulu shall be born into this tribe. He will then come back to the Zulu. Then he will harness the Zulu and turn them into the mightiest force Africa has ever seen, because he is a genius. The witch doctor said, a genius of war. And so the years went by and the Zulu were doing their thing. Love, harmony, and poetry. Love, sex, harmony, and poetry. And this other tribe was getting more and more aggressive. But the elders never forgot. From generation to generation, the elders never forgot. They never forgot the prediction of the witch doctor. Because our predictions go down in history. I just predicted recently that the Zulu will once again conquer other territories, and that it'll be done by a Zulu boy who is around 12, 13 right now, but I see him so clearly, and he is gonna be a master, and he's gonna conquer parts of Africa, and they'll all come under him. Trust and believe. That has been recorded. History will repeat itself again in South Africa. A new Shaka is on his way. Anyway, let's get back to the old Shaka. So, Shaka, the predicted one. The elders, some feared the coming and some rejoiced. Some were tired of the Zulu being inferior and spat on. And the Zulu tribe's element is fire, so it's understandable. They felt oppressed, but some truly feared. So two factions became because of that prediction. Years rolled on. Elder after elder remembers and still in their factions. One day, a very beautiful girl called Nandi from the aggressive enemy tribe bumped into the gigolo Prince Senzangakona. He looked at her and he said, Nandi. He's been looking at her for days, and she's been looking at him. The sparks have been flying. He said, Nandi, I have seen you looking at me. Your eyes tell me that you love me. And Nandi giggled, ha ha. My eyes, Princess Zangakona, have lied to you. End of story. They did the deeds. Prince Senzangakona and his ancestors put a baby in Nandi's belly, and Shaka was born. So Shaka, son of the Zulu, son of the Bantu, his records speak for themselves. He died unconquered by men. Hail Shaka. Gary Owens. Okay. Gary Owens and Kenya. Gary Owens and his wife, Kenya. I understand that they have filed for divorce, but I have absolutely no idea who they are, which is good. I like it. So we're going to do a relationship reading on Gary Owens and his wife, Kenya, and it ought not to take too much time. Okay? Blow. 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 Okay, now who do I call first? I am going to call Gary because his energy is much stronger. I'm looking at the picture. I know this thing doesn't get them. Okay. Gary. So you shall find me often from now on looking up in front of me rather than in the plate, because lately the energy, the souls, they actually walk into the room and they stand in front of me, and that's why I will be looking up instead of down. Okay, just to let you know. And Gary was quick to walk in. I find that with entertainers, that's always the case. They are always quick to walk in when called, because I think they get called so often. He's saying, yes, we get called all the time. But then he just said, but not the way you called me. Okay. We'll cross away. Okay. So anyway, Gary came from the northeast. That means this is a person who is normal like everybody else. He looks perfectly normal to me. He doesn't have any dark energies around him. He says, no, I don't. I'm really a nice guy. Well, that's for me to decide, not for you. And he laughs. He has a sense of blissful relief and happiness around him. He says he made a mistake. He made a mistake by marrying Kenya. Now, why would you say that? He says she's crazy, but I tried to work with it. Okay, why did you marry her? He says she was sexy as fuck. He says, hey, black women are my thing. You're the sexiest shit ever. Even if whether you are to see me walk around with a white woman, still know that you are my thing. Okay, that's what he said. Okay, so now I'm going to ask Gary, because he's a clean soul, because not everybody gets into my plates no more if they are not clean. I'm going to ask Gary to walk into the plate. Okay, can you please walk in to the room of my ancestors? And he says, with pleasure. And he walks in and he sits down. And he looks straight at me. He has nice eyes. He looks straight at me and he smiles. He says, you're feeling it, huh? The sexual attraction. No. But thank you. And he loves the way I laugh. Thank you. I'm going to be blushing over here. I have found a flirt, okay? He says, no, you have found a connoisseur of black women. I love you more than your men love you. I love every nuance, every feel, every wig, every new hairstyle, every weave, every natural curly, kinky hair. Let's not talk about the pubic hair. That is just oomph. Pubic hairs. Oof. I love everything about you. You are soft. You are feminine. You are charming. And you are fucking kind. You're the kindest women on earth. I honor you. Oh, well. I'm glad I did this reading. I'm so glad I did this reading. Oh, thank you, God. It's so refreshing. He says, no. A lot of us think like that. We just don't admit it out loud. We just don't admit it. And I'm just admitting it. So, of course, Gary has taken over my reading because I'm flustered and flattered. Okay. I'm flustered and flattered, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like a little 16-year-old right now, really feeling myself, like, yes. Like, okay, so Gary is very hardworking. What can I say? Oh, he's done his job well. He's done it well. Let's move on to Kenya. Let's move on to Kenya. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Kenya. Kenya instigated the divorce. Kenya has mental health issues. Okay, they're not too severe, but they're severe enough. And in her moments when they really have her by the throat, she loses it. But one thing she is sure about is that she no longer loves Gary. She has not loved him for a long time, but she stayed, not for the kids, but because he was good to her. But she's in a new phase of her life where she wants to discover herself. She wants to become her true self. She's going through a spiritual journey. Yes, a spiritual journey, a spiritual moment where she wants to work on herself, discover herself so that she can find happiness, because depression dogs her. Depression dogs her a great deal, and she just wants to be happy. So she's cleaning out her closet, and Gary has to go. But Gary himself, not too worried. These are two good people. They have their good side and they have their bad side, but they are two good, normal people who have just outgrown each other. At least that is what we are seeing in the metaphysical. But then we might see what happened between the two of them when we throw shells. When she came in, she did not hug her Gary. She did not even look at Gary. She's like, he's here, and she's like looking straight at me. She is more, she's very quiet, removed, cold. She says, only to you. Okay, I'll take that. She says, only to you. I'm not cold to those who truly know me. I accept that. I'll take that, Kenya. I'll take it. She's not as beautiful in the metaphysical as she is in the real, because I'm looking at her picture. Yeah, in the real, she's very beautiful. In the metaphysical, she's not. So she has gone through some plastic surgery, which we totally approve of. Okay, I'm totally thinking of plastic surgery myself, so we totally approve of that. So she's gone through it to make herself beautiful. She says it's hard to be beautiful and it's expensive to be beautiful. And for a long time, I spent my time wanting that because it's made Gary happy. He likes to see a black woman who is a certain way, and I wanted to make my husband happy, and I wanted to keep my marriage happy. But now I've become a shell of myself, and I need to be more. Okay. So now I'm going to take out, this is going to be a short reading, you guys, because there are no secrets here. There are absolutely no secrets at all. So now I'm going to take them out of the plate and throw them on the board. Okay? And see what happens here. Okay, so this marriage has been and is being undone for a long time. and it's never gonna go back. I mean, they have already created their own separate lives. So you probably just heard the announcement of the divorce, but it has been an open secret to those who know them. So this is Gary to the left, and this is Kenya to the right. Kenya was in a relationship with another man or woman. Man or woman? Woman. Kenya was in a relationship with another woman. She still is in that relationship with another woman, but the relationship is not good. It's falling apart. They are both trying, though. Both women are trying very, very hard. They are trying. But their communication is what is lacking. They don't understand each other. They totally don't. The other female is even quieter than Kenya. They don't understand each other. And that's why the relationship is difficult. And that's why the relationship, well, it's difficult. It will end with time. Right? Kenya has got 3 children, I believe, because we see 3 shells here. 1, 2, 3. She has 1 child. She has 1. Kenya has 3. And this is a difficult relationship. It's not going to work. So Kenya and what the hell is his name? How can I forget a man who said such beautiful things? Okay, Gary. Gary is still wanting to reconcile with his wife. There is distance. They don't even live like in the same city. They may live in the same state, but there is a big distance between them. Gary wants to work it out with Kenya, and he has been trying for a very long time. And he has been making overtures, and he has been pulling her in his direction. He says she's got to end the affair with that other woman and come back. We're good together. She's got to end the affair and she's got to come back. So Gary is trying to retrieve his marriage, and he is using a mighty force. He doesn't want a divorce. He's fighting this divorce with everything that he has. He doesn't want it. He is using a mighty force, making it difficult for her to divorce him, making it really difficult. He's using lawyers. He is fighting her. He's making it. He says, I don't want to let go of my wife. She's the most beautiful thing in the world. Why would I let go of her? We all have affairs. We all make mistakes, right? She must just come back home. And his wife, Kenya, is saying Gary is too controlling. And she is wanting a lot of money from him. And she is trying to drag as much money from him as she can as she bails for her freedom. She is about the money. She is about the money. And she is coming after it and pulling it as much as hard as she can. And he is pulling her. He says, do you know how difficult it is to get a woman like my wife? She's crazy as a hatter, but she's fun as hell. And she also has her moments where, she grounds the family together. I don't want my kids to come from step parenting and all that. I want us to work it out. She's lost her mind, but I want us to work it out. And she is saying, give me the money, dude. Give me the money. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm done. I want this relationship of true honesty and openness. I don't want this cover. And he is saying, it may have been a cover to you, but it wasn't a cover to me. To me, this was real. And she says, it was real too when I tried it. It was real too when I tried it, but I don't want this anymore. I want the rest of my life to be lived in truth and honesty. The Bantu can only support Kenya on this one. So, it's not like Gary was a faithful motherfucker himself, right? There is a woman, a black female, who has a child with him, and it is hidden. And that child was born within his marriage to Kenya. Right, babe? In the corner there. Yeah. That child was, and he is still in a relationship with her. So he's a baby daddy. He is still in a relationship with her. And she's not the only one. There's also this other one over here. But the one with his child is extremely important. However, Kenya has blocked that situation. She's either done some paperwork and she's going after her. She is going after Gary's baby mama legally. Kenya is going after, yeah, oh my gosh. Yes, Kenya is going after Gary's baby mama legally. She has legal paperwork against her. So here we are with this. She's not so young. Gary isn't into young females. She's in her late 30s. She's black. She's in her late 30s. She kind of looks like Kenya. But men have a type, right? Men have a type. She kind of looks like Kenya. She kind of looks like Kenya. Yeah. She kind of, same skin tone, same body type, but smaller breasts. Late 30s. And the child is 4 years old. Boy or girl. I'm so bad with sexes because what I get is just the energy. I either get a male energy or a female energy, and sometimes it doesn't come in this in the same body, right? And then I hate to tell parents that, yeah, you may have given birth to a daughter, but actually that's a masculine soul inside that daughter. So in this case, what is it? What is the soul that came 4 years ago? Female. A female soul. And he genuinely loves that female soul. He provides. He has been providing for her for many years, and he has been providing very well. She lives good. Yeah, all of you go line up and be Gary Owens' baby mamas. If I were younger, I would. She has been living very well. And that has been Kenya's war. That has been Kenya's war. Understandable. That has been the money that has gone to baby mama and her daughter has been Kenya's war. But he is saying, men do this all the time. I'm just responsible. I take care of everybody. I take care of all my kids and all my women. And my kids live the same standard of living, whether they are born out of wedlock or not. I'm an honorable man. So I can't allow her to stop me from providing for my other child and woman. So there you go, you guys. That's the war. That's the war right there. We found the war. The war right there. That's the war. He will not stop providing financially and physically to Miss 37. She is in entertainment, but like she worked with him, like she either managed or was an assistant. It's coming out, and she was an assistant for years. She started off very young, like straight out of college. But the relationship, how long has it been going on? Like 12 years. Okay, I can understand why Kenya is mad. I can understand it. Like 12 years. She knows Kenya, and she knows the kids. She knows the family. But Kenya has had her legally blocked from her kids. Kenya has put a big cross on this bitch. Kenya has legally put a big cross on this bitch. Like, don't cross the line. Literally. Okay. Now, this is the interesting part. Gary is not in love with either women. He says he finds it difficult to fall in love. He's not in love with them, but he cares for them a lot. And he's very sexually attracted to them. Who are you more sexually attracted to, your wife or her? You're gonna laugh. Okay. And then I'm gonna think that it was in my head, but I asked, who are you in love with, your wife or her? And he said, you mean Keisha? So I don't. Who are you more sexually attracted to? He says Keisha. Says Keisha. She gives it to me good. Okay. Hi. Okay. So he okay, he will fight to keep her, but we don't see him bringing her out. He said, how can I? Kenya will make noise. Kenya will make so much noise. You know, that's the price she and I have to pay. It'll ruin my career. You know, because Kenya will make noise and she'll pull out all these receipts. I can't allow that. Okay. So, the future for this marriage. Really, there's nothing much to this story, right? It's a typical story. Okay, the future for this marriage. The future for this marriage, Gary and Kenya. The future. What's in your future? Definitely going their separate ways. Of course, separate ways. They're gonna lose money, a lot of money. A lot of money. Both of them. This divorce is financially debilitating for both of them. Not just, but Kenya more than him. The loss of shows that they had on the board, the loss of projects that they had on the board, they're going to lose a lot. He will recover and move on. She won't. She won't. He will recover and move on. But the recovery is not that great. They were going to be right up there at the very, 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 very top. But now, the end. Okay. She's gonna go into like spiritual. I'm not gonna be surprised if I see Kenya as a compatriot. Because she is very spiritual. Extremely so. And because she is uncleansed, though, we can't tell where her spirituality is, what it is for, or where it is leading to. But she is going to get even more holistic and try to find her way through the holistic path. He is just going to go hard. Like right now, he's really going hard. He's working hard. He's trying not to lose momentum because of what he has already lost or what he knows he is going to lose. So he is trying to work hard just to bring in the coin. But she is being holistic, la-di-da. Don't we just all need that? I need that. So that's what they are doing. Will they be friends? Let's ask that at least. Because right now there's a don't talk to me coldness between them. Gary and Kenya, will you be friends? They said yes. They have no choice. They have kids. Will you be friends? Yes. Will you be friends? Yes. Kenya is definitely gay. Okay. So it'll be a difficult friendship. And they will not be kissing and hugging each other and going la-di-da, okay? A lot of trust has been lost between them. What was the trust? Kenya didn't know that the other woman's child was her husband's. She didn't know. She didn't know. She just found out. Hence the divorce. So she can't forgive that. There is no forgiveness coming from Kenya to him. And he will try to be more friendly with her. In fact, he will reach out more than she does. But she wants out. The bottom line is this woman wasn't happy in her marriage, and not because her husband was vicious and cruel. She just wasn't happy. She just was not happy. And that happens. You can have it all and still not be happy. She says she wasn't being true to herself. She wasn't being who she was when she discovered that Gary had this whole other family and he was having a good time there too. She said, oh hell, I shortchanged myself. I should have also been looking out for me. Basically, that's your reading, as requested on Instagram. I especially wish Kenya the best. Okay, I know the road to self-discovery is difficult and it is painful and it has bumps, but we, the Bantu, believe that Kenya is doing the right thing. As for Gary, he is very welcome in my plate anytime. He says, thank you, pretty lady. Yes, do come and do bring those flattering sentences with you anytime. Anytime at all. I need to hear them. They are good for my ego. So I wish him the best too. He has some pretty good qualities. So for this couple, I wish them all the best. And on that note, the request reading is done.